My name is Caylin Carter, and this is my final leadership reflection. Final, and I'll be covering all four questions. So, first, I would like to, answering question one, I would like to summarize the article that my team focused on, which would be why should anyone be led by you? And so, this article really encourages leaders, I think, to focus on being perfect and more on, well, less on being perfect and more on being authentic. So it outlines some unexpected but really cool traits, I think, for inspirational leaders. So the first trait is the willingness to reveal weakness. So that builds trust and shows vulnerability in a really strategic way. The second is effective leaders act as sensors, so picking up on subtle interpersonal cues, and understanding how others are feeling without needing everything spelled out. Like, you don't need somebody to break every single thing down to you. And so the third quality is tough empathy. So that's caring about your team members while still challenging them to grow, and doing both at the same time. And so I think that, finally, great leaders dare to be different. So they're embracing what makes the unique stand out more and connect really meaningfully with other people. So one example that stood out to me about Greg Dyke, he had laid off his employees for the company to be able to survive. And even though it was really difficult, he kind of communicated openly with them and was honest with them. And that really helped maintain their trust. And I think that's a great example of having tough empathy in action. So, like, being honest and direct and everything. So the next question I like to focus on would be summarizing the article that was presented by another team, which was Primal Leadership, the hidden driver of great performance. So this article focuses on how leaders' emotional intelligence, especially their mood, and directly impacts organizational performance. So it introduces like the concept of mood contagion, which means that a leader's, like, your emotional state can spread to other people. So for example, like, a negative or emotionally unaware leader can create a toxic and really stressful atmosphere, while a leader who is emotionally intelligent and optimistic can boost the morale and productivity. And so this article really emphasizes that emotionally intelligence, it goes through the organization kind of like electricity. Like, you can't see it, but it's super powerful. So one of the biggest takeaways that I think is that self-awareness and emotional regulation are not just personal skills, but they are leadership necessities that influence everybody that a leader comes in contact with. So now, I will address the next question, which is the question three, for the four components of emotional intelligence, which were talked about in both of the articles. So the four components would be self-awareness, which is the ability to understand your own emotions; self-management, which is the skill of regulating your own emotions and responding calmly; and social awareness, which is understanding how others are feeling and showing empathy. And then number four, relationship management, which is handling interpersonal relationships effectively, resolving conflict, and just knowing how to build trust. So out of the four, I think my strongest component is relationship management. I naturally really enjoy helping people work together and solve communication issues and making everybody make sure that they feel heard. And on the other hand, my weakest component, I think, will be self-management. So when I'm overwhelmed, I sometimes let myself like the stress affect my tone or energy, even if I don't mean to. And I've been working on that and just learning to be a lot more balanced. So finally, I want to talk about the last question, which is the leader-member exchange model. So this theory, it focuses on the relationship between a leader and each individual team member. So in the initial interactions, like, leaders and team members begin to form impressions about each other. So, like, trust, or your, like, competence, or like compatibility. So based on, like, those type of early experiences, the relationship can really grow into a high quality exchange, which includes like trust and open communication and everything. Or it could stay in a low quality exchange, which tends to be more formal and distant. So high quality leader member exchanges, those relationships are associated with better team performance and higher morale and increased motivation. The model reminds leaders that the way that they interact with each other in each individual team member, especially in the beginning, can have a really long lasting impact. So in conclusion, I just want to say that both of the articles in the course as a whole has really helped me understand how emotional intelligence and authenticity and strong interpersonal type of relationships are really the heart of like really effective leadership. And yeah, thank you so much for an amazing class, and I appreciate it.